name is Raygen Crum, and this is my narrative speech. Being a teenager is already hard, but being a teenager with diabetes changes everything. For most teens, their biggest worry is homework, school, friends, but for me, it's my blood sugar, insulin, and making smart, healthy choices for my body. I was only 12 years old, and I had just come home from a birthday party. I was feeling sick. My family waited around 4 days to take me into the hospital to figure out what was wrong. On April 20th, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at just 12 years old. That day has taught me that patience isn't just a word, but a skill I have to live with every day. Those few days marked the beginning of my struggle with type 1 diabetes and the start of a completely new way of living. In the days following the birthday party, I had realized something was wrong with my body. I was slowly less motivated and healthy. I constantly felt extremely tired and sick. Even after resting, I could not understand why my energy was quickly disappearing. I would come home from school each day from feeling sick and drained. Tiredness filled my body, and I always found myself to be thirsty. I had lost around 15 pounds and found myself repeatedly throwing up. These feelings never went away. At the time, neither my parents or I realized these symptoms were warning signs of diabetes. As my symptoms continued to worsen, my parents decided to take me to the hospital to figure out what was wrong. Once we got to the hospital, we had told the nurses what was going on and how bad I've been feeling recently. Nurses and doctors jumped to conclusions and said it was probably just COVID-19. They ran a COVID test on me and nothing popped up. At this point in time, they knew something was wrong, so they decided to run more tests. A couple hours, they had come back with news. My blood sugar was high. I was surrounded by people who began to teach me about insulin, blood sugar checks, and what diabetes meant. Although I was scared and overwhelmed, I slowly started to understand that I would have to learn new routines and responsibilities to stay healthy. Being in the hospital forced me to quickly grow up and start learning how to take care of my body in a way I never had before. The most overwhelming moment came when the doctors officially told my parents and I that I was diagnosed. Sitting in the hospital room, I listened to the doctor explain that this was a lifelong disease with no cure. I remember sitting in the hospital bed shocked and scared as I realized my life would never be the same as it was before. In that moment, diabetes stopped being just a sickness but became who I was. Even though I did not fully understand everything yet, I knew I was facing a challenge that would test me in many ways I never had experienced before. I stayed in the hospital for a long week, then I got to leave and head home. My life at home had changed in so many new ways that I had never expected. Simple daily routines were now complicated. I now had so many responsibilities at just 12. I had to check my blood sugar, plan meals, and take insulin at certain times. My parents were a huge help in managing my diabetes. Our home began to fill with medical supplies and new routines. These changes felt overwhelming and frustrating because nothing about daily life felt normal. I didn't feel like a normal kid. Over time, I became much more confident in handling my diabetes, and I can now have a much more flexible routine and diet. Looking back on my diagnosis and the changes that followed, I realized how much it has taught me to be strong. Being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at a young age forced me to face challenges that I had never expected to handle, and to handle them with courage and determination. Managing my blood sugar, learning to give myself insulin, and making daily healthy choices show me that I am even stronger and more capable than I realized. Even though diabetes is a lifelong challenge, it has taught me the ability to keep going even when things are hard. This experience taught me that strength is not just physical, but it is also mental, emotional, and it is something I carry with me each day.
Very good.